Okay, so welcome to part 2 of Coaching 101, where you have asked the Qs, and I am here to do my best to answer all of them. So I'm just going to pull up the chat. And first of all, thank you to everyone who dropped their questions in, because this really gives Jess and I guidance to how we can serve you and what we need to provide more of. And so this is really helpful. So I have answered some of these, so I'm just going to go through some of these questions here that Victoria and Lauren have asked. Okay, so the one of the questions is, how do you get more comfortable with talking on your stories? I got more comfortable by doing it. Not gonna lie, like, you just have to jump in. If it's messy, if it's not perfect, just jump in. But also attending coach sneak peeks and sharing my story with the girls that were already in it with me really helped to be able to do it on my social platform. So that was basically that. It's pretty straightforward, that one. It is scary, but you can do the hard things. You can do scary. The second question is, do you focus more on connections or invites, and which do you think is more important? I focus on both, to be honest. I think both are just as important, because connections are going to lead up to the invite. But if you never invite, then you're never going to see like the success in your business that you want to see. But also connecting and being relatable is huge. So finding the people that, for me, I like to find people who are also athletic, or people who like dogs, or just people that are in my niche, people that I know that I'm going to vibe with, especially if we have something in common. So I will always reach out and connect first, unless like people are watching my stories, then I'll just connect with them or invite them that way. I always invite from my stories, like people who are watching, even if I've talked to them before. I try to make it flow smoother, but we can also talk into that when we talk about invites and diving into invites. Both are just as equally important, because invites are going to get you the action and the success, but connections are going to lead you up to the invites, if that makes sense. I focus on both. I have systems for both. So on my Instagram, if you go to the people that follow you, there's a little section at the top that says least interacted with. I'll go through every single person in there and I'll connect with them. Every single person. I'll introduce myself, and I'll say something about their page that I like, and then it leads into a conversation, and then typically I invite them. If they're watching my stories, or other people are watching my stories, whether the conversation died or not, I'll invite them. But I try and say something like, hey, some of the girls and I are going to try focusing on kind of our fitness and our health for the next 20 days. Do you want to try it too? Because then it's like casual, but both are just as important. You can't do one without the other. I think I answered this in the last in the PowerPoint that I had. What do you do when they say they want to sign up with you next month, but then ghost you? Do you let it be after a few check-ins? I literally follow up with them every single month, whether they ghost me or not. Until they say no, or until they block me, I'll keep inviting them, or I'll connect with them. Just kind of seeing where they're at, just vibing with the conversation, really. I answered that one in the PowerPoint. How do you monitor your business? The business activity tracker. I use a different one because it's prettier. But this is literally a guideline to what you need to do every single day. It looks like a lot, but it's really not. So the first two are literally taking care of yourself. So are you working out? Are you drinking the Shakeology for your health? Are you doing personal development? It literally is a guideline for how to work the business. And the first section is taking care of yourself. Did you do personal development? And then the second part is a reminder to check in with your challenge group. Are you cheering people on? We kind of talked about that already, but that's how I know what to do. That's how I monitor what I'm doing. And there is also an app. It's called the Success Tracker, or the SCBAT. It's a little green guy. Sorry, the lighting's really horrible. It's a little green guy right here. And it's the same thing, just, you really can't see it. It's the same thing, just a vision or on the app, which I find really handy dandy. If I didn't print any of these out, or if I left it somewhere, I will still check in with my business partner. I'll still check into the Emerald Dash. I'll still check into the Diamond Dash, even if I didn't touch a single thing on here. But more than likely you would have. If you found your routine in personal development, check it off. If that's the only thing you did, good for you. Like, that's good. Good job of showing up for yourself today, right? Like, your head and your heart are the most important thing. So always, if this is empty, show up, do the action, share it with your business partner, share it with the Dash group, because it's the habit that we're wanting to establish, right? There's more. How do you stay positive when your business isn't moving? Honestly, personal development. I think the most important thing is my head and my heart. If I'm not in a good state, if I don't believe I can do it, you've already wiped yourself out of the game. If you think you can't, you're already done. You've already cut yourself out of the game, because that thought will lead to your actions, and the actions will lead to what you believe, right? So, but if you think you can, you will. You'll find a way. If it's a priority, you will. You'll find a way. If it's not, you'll find an excuse. How to stay positive when your business isn't moving. We all have slow months. We all have, especially like September and October. They are slow months. People are trying to find routine. It's a difficult month. Like, I've even had slow months. Know that you're not alone in a slow month, or if a month seems harder than it usually is, that's okay. But let's take a look at your bat. Let's see what we're not doing much of. Let's track, right? So that's the importance of showing up with your bat. And it's not the end all be all of life. It's a part of your life. It's not you. It doesn't consume you. And the more you put in, the more you get out. So if you want it to be a hobby, let it be a hobby. If you want to go all in, then go all in. But positive, like, I just surround myself with people who fire me up, or I have affirmations, or I have mantras. Like, I can do the hard thing. I can do the hard. I can show up. The 5-second rule is really good too. That's something that I've been implementing over the last 2 weeks. So, how do you guys do it with other jobs? Time blocking and Power Pockets. I literally have to do Power Pockets. When I was a student and had 2 jobs, I had to Power Pocket. I would be waiting. I would show up to class 20 minutes early just so I could get my inbox and my invites out. What helps you get unstuck? Reading. Personal development helps me get unstuck, and literally keep moving through the feeling. Keep moving, even though you feel stuck, because feelings are temporary. Keep moving through the feels, and work through the feelings, navigate through the feelings, and reach out to your business partner or your coach. Action helps you get unstuck. If you think you're stuck, move. Just do it 1 foot in front of the other. And sometimes we do hit I think it's called a plateau, but that's when you should be changing your invites, or changing the way that you approach or the way that you approach your stories, or ask them what they want to see. Ask them why they follow you. Ask them why they're around for so long. Because then you know what they want to see more of. Like, if they want to see more motivational, if they want to see more recipes, if they want to see more self-care, if they want to see more of your story, ask them. It's fine to ask them. I've done it before. I literally asked why they continue to track with me. It's fine to do that too. Invites, we will do a separate thing for invites, because invites are so complex. Share your struggles with the business. How do you do that? I breadcrumb. So if there's a day where I'm like mentally in a funk, I'll talk about it, because it's human. I'm human. And not every day is gonna look like freaking butterflies and rainbows. There are days when it's hard. There are days when it's tough. But what are you doing? Are you moving? Is self-discipline kicking in? Are you just gonna commit to the first 5 minutes, the first 10 minutes, and see how you feel after that? But also share your struggles, because it makes it relatable. And the more times that you do it, whether it's in Coach Sneak Peeks, which is a really safe environment, or it's on your stories, just continue to do it, because the more you do it, the more you get better at it, the more you feel comfortable. It's just like learning how to tie your shoes. At first, you don't know what the hell you're doing. But as you continue to learn to tie your shoes and get all the laces and the bunny ears, you feel more confident, and then it becomes like nothing. Right now, like if I were to get my shoe on and tie it up, it's like nothing. I don't even think about it. But just even if it's small little tidbits here and there, it doesn't have to be like 18 stories long. It can be like 2 or 3, right? We talked about that. What do you use? Okay, tips to getting people to follow you back when they are private and you can't immediately show appreciation on their posts. I typically, okay, so I don't really follow, I do follow private, but I don't. I'll follow private accounts like maybe once a week, and usually they'll follow you back if they like your content, if they see that you're posting a lot, if they can relate to you, or if you vibe with them. And if not, then they probably won't follow you back, which I've had that happen to me a lot of the times because they are private, so they probably don't want people following them. But I've had also a lot of people who follow me when they're private. So it's kind of hard because you don't want your followers to go way above your following, or did I say that backwards? Don't get offended if the people that are private don't follow you back because they're private for a reason. But with following, I will follow my friends' friends, like my university friends, my college friends. I'll follow their friends because then it's like like you have an association with them. Or anyone that new that follows me, I'll follow some of their friends. And that's how I decide how I follow. Or sometimes I will go to Twisted Teas because I like their page, or I'll go to a local coffee shop and I'll find a post or a product that I really like, whether it's dark coffee, whether it's a freaking muffin, whatever it is. I'll go to their photo and I'll see who else has liked that photo, and then I'll say there was Sarah liked the same photos that I did, and then I go to Sarah's account, and if I like the way that she's vibing and I feel like we have something to connect about or connect with, I'll follow her. I'll like 3 of her photos, I'll comment on one, and then hopefully she follows me back. And if not, I usually keep connecting with them or like keeping an eye on them for 30 days, and then if they don't follow me back, I just unfollow. But yeah, tips you can people follow you back. But when they're private, there's nothing. They either follow you or they don't, and there's nothing you can do about it. So I don't focus on following people that are private. Focus on people who are liking your favorite coffee, or people who I use locations too. Like I'll look up my favorite locations, like my hometown. And then if I visit places and I make a post, say I went to Stratford for, I don't know, a stag and doe or something, then I'll look who else tagged in Stratford or tagged Stratford to their photo, and I'll be able to see who's not private, who has also used the location for Stratford. And then if I vibe with them, I'll follow them. There's so many ways to follow and to invite. This is where I found, like, all of the stuff I'm sharing with you right now, I learned in the National Wake Up Call. I've learned from team calls. So my advice would be to show up there, and then sorry, I'm just trying to see if there's any other questions that I missed. I think I did all these. Wendy. I think I followed on that one. Okay, I think I've answered most of the questions. I can't talk. I'm done talking. Take a look at part 1. Take a look at this part. And if there's more that is coming to mind, more questions, that's good. Ask the questions. Let us know where you're at. But my biggest advice would be to show up on the National Wake Up Call and show up to team calls, because there's endless amounts of tips and tricks, and they, like, top coaches in the network are literally sharing what they do with you, and it's incredible. I'm like, holy crap, it was that easy? Like, I think sometimes we like to make things more difficult than they are. So often something that I've been telling myself lately is just bring it back to the basics. We're human. We like connections. We like a sense of belonging. So I hope this was helpful. Let us know what you think. Jess and I are here for you, but we need to know how to serve you right. So keep us posted, let us know, and we will see you on the other side.